What's up, guys? It's Lefty here, and we are talking NFL Week 13 best bets. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 games, discussing 3 official best bets that I've already locked in. They've been posted inside the Betting Network Discord in the Best Bet channel. I also have all the other Week 13 games broken down inside the Discord, along with bets and opinions and all those games. But in this video here, it's my 3 best bets for Week 13. Let's get into it. One more thing really quickly, you can access the Discord by simply clicking the invite link in my bio or the description below this video. Discord's awesome. It's a big community with different channel topics. I have over 400 members in my community. We're all working together, sharing information, breaking news, helpful tips, all with the common goal to help each other win more. It's so much easier to accomplish things with a team. It's also fun working together. I remember in school when teachers allowed us to team up in group projects, and those were always the best classes. Discord is like that, except the project is betting and trying to beat the sports books, I guess, is the goal. You can join the Discord for free and become a basic member, or you can get full access to all the channels, betting lessons, tools by becoming a pro member. I do charge $50 for 90 days. Which I might be biased, but I think that's a pretty good deal considering all the available information. Just the betting lessons archived alone is worth that amount in my opinion. Assuming learning how to become a smarter sports bettor is your goal. If not, there's thousands of other Discords that would be a better fit for you, I'm sure. I heard some of them even have guaranteed winners. Okay, now with that plug out of the way, let's talk these best bets. We'll go on Steelers-Bengals, AFC North divisional matchup. We've heard all the trends, how good Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin has been in the role of an underdog or coming off a loss. Now, I'm not big into historical trends, but I do think they're worth just being aware of, and some of them are worth even being factored into the handicap, but I would never make a bet solely based on a trend. Now, I probably shouldn't even be getting involved with a game involving the Steelers. I've been dead wrong about them almost every step of the way this season. They've been a frustrating team for me this season. They're 1 win away from going over their regular season win total, which I bet under 8.5 wins. But being wrong about a bet isn't the frustrating part here. I'm wrong all the time about bets, but it's just how the Steelers have gotten to 8 wins so far this year. Crazy amount of third down variance. The Steelers are ranked 31st in early down success rate. Or in other words, Steelers are the second worst team in the NFL in producing positive plays on first and second down. However, on the season, the Steelers are 15th overall in success rate per drive. So think about this. They're the second worst team in producing positive plays on first and second down, but 15th in success rate per drive. Makes zero sense. Usually teams' early down success rate is heavily correlated to their overall success rate on their drives. But the Steelers are basically going negative plays on first and second down and then just converting third and longs all the time, which it wouldn't be crazy for a team to do this in a game or two throughout the year. The Steelers are literally doing this every single game. It just makes no sense. This cannot be something that continues. Russell Wilson's now throwing into tight windows and just barely avoiding disaster. That also can't last. I think we see some serious regression here with this Steelers offense. We started to see a glimpse of it in their last game versus the Browns, where the Steelers went 7 for 16 in third down conversions. The fact that they had 16 third down attempts alone should tell you about their early down success. I think this regression continues not because the Bengals defense is going to force it on them, more because the Steelers just can't keep this miracle third down conversion pace up all season. Now, on the other side, I trust the Bengals offense much more. Looks like Cincy should be getting back their 4-time Pro Bowl tackle Orlando Brown. This is a great matchup for the Bengals offense. Joe Burrow faces the highest rate of 2-man high safety. This is how defenses try to defend the explosive plays from Burrow and this Bengals offense. It's basically like the standard operating defense when facing the Bengals is this 2-man high. Well, the Steelers, they don't change their defense for anyone, no matter what. They stick to single high safety looks. They play it at by far the highest rate of any team. and they play it well too. But Burrow has dominated this look his entire career. I tried finding this sound clip of Joe Burrow. He just threw a TD. He's mic'd up. He goes to the sideline. Him and Jamar Chase, and I think like the offensive coordinator, are talking on the sidelines, and Burrow and them are all excited. He's saying, "Yo, these dudes are playing single high. It's going to be a long day for these guys. They're like dapping each other up." The clip was like from 2 years ago, I think, but with the Steelers here, nothing's really changed with the Bengals here besides teams playing fewer snaps of single high safety coverage. Like nobody plays that anymore. So even 2 years ago during that clip, it was rare to see. And when a team tried to do it, Burrow was torching them. So I like the Bengals here, and I like backing teams who are in these like kind of do or die spots. Bengals can't afford an eighth loss on the season, especially not a divisional loss here. They should be in somewhat desperation mode here. So I bet the Bengals -3. I don't think the Steelers secondary has the personnel to match up in man coverage, even though I love Joey Porter Jr. I think the Bengals score early and often. I was close to betting the over in this game too because I do think matchups are good for both offenses. Uh, and Cincy's defense on the back end runs a lot of single high coverage themselves. 55% of post snap coverages are single high, and this is where Steelers offense has a lot of their success against on those like third and obvious passing downs. The past 4 weeks, the Bengals' pass defense has been especially bad since losing both their cornerbacks DJ Turner and Dax Hill to injury reserve. Um, Bengals pass defense the last 4 weeks ranks 28th in EPA per pass play allowed, 31st in explosive pass percentage allowed. So I think they'll have success moving the ball, meaning the Steelers, but I just trust the Bengals offense more and think if they go down throwing. So probably will bet the over for this game at some point. But the official bet right now for this game, you see it on the screen, Bengals -3. All right, next game up. Seahawks travel far east across the country for an early 1 p.m. start time in New York to play the Jets. Historically, this is a negative spot for these West Coast teams traveling east for early start times, which makes sense. It's basically like a 10 a.m. kickoff for these teams, but I'm not looking at the side in this one. I like the under. I bet it under 42. Think both offenses struggle here. Even though the Jets' defense has been really suspect since they fired defensive-minded head coach Robert Saleh, the Jets are going to get a big boost with middle linebacker and defensive captain / signal caller C.J. Mosley returning back. The Seattle offensive line has had issues all season in both the run blocking game and keeping a clean pocket for Geno Smith. Geno's been a bottom 3 quarterback when facing pressure, only a 32% success rate when facing pressure. The Jets' defense is top 10 in most pressure rates. They're 11th best in pass rush win rate. On the other side of the ball, Cincy, on the other side of the ball, since Seattle had their bye week, this Seattle defense has been very sturdy. They've made a huge leap in a lot of defensive metrics. When you look at their season numbers compared to the last 4 weeks, they've jumped 10 full spots in some categories. And a couple reasons for this improvement on defense for Seattle are, some of them are obvious, like, they had a lot of injuries the first 8 weeks of the season, especially on the defensive line. They're pretty much fully healthy now. They made a really good mid-season signing, grabbing linebacker Ernest Jones. That's been an immediate big impact. But in my opinion, the most important factor, and not so obvious one, is the change on defense for Seattle is head coach Mike Macdonald. I think he's learned his personnel and what his team's strengths and weaknesses are. When he first got to Baltimore, the first half of his first season as defensive coordinator, that defense wasn't good. But it drastically improved the second half, and he turned it all around. The following year, in his second year as DC, we know he took that defense to an all-time great status. I think it just takes some time for coaches and players to kind of buy into new schemes and philosophies, and that's what we're starting to see now with Seattle and Macdonald. I feel good about the under in this one. The market seems to agree there as well. I wish I got under 43, but I always wish I get a better number. I just really don't see how the Jets move the ball on the ground. San Fran and Arizona both couldn't establish their run game versus Seattle's defensive front. Jets running back Breece Hall missed practice again today. Not a positive sign there. Also, the Jets offense is just so predictable. Zero creativity. An unbelievably slow snap to snap. Fourth slowest in the league, which is ideal for betting unders. For my official best bet, give me the Seahawks Jets under 42. Remember, if you want bets and opinions on all the other Week 13 games, I have those previews posted in the Discord for pro members in audio form. Okay, for my third best bet, Sunday, 4 p.m., NFC South divisional matchup between the Bucks and Panthers, and I think we see some scoring in this one. The Panthers, since their bye week, have undergone some small changes that have had some pretty big impacts for them offensively. They now use a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot more play action. They've also gotten away from being so run-heavy on early downs, which has always been so predictable and bogs offenses down. They play a much more balanced attack on early downs now, much more neutral run and pass ratio on first and second downs. All these changes have suddenly made Bryce Young Thug not look like the worst quarterback in the league. Carolina can suddenly move the ball now. I always get a ton of source plays when I start recording. Nothing all day, and then I just start getting bombed with them. Carolina will now get a Bucks defense that's coming off a dominant performance that almost pitched a shutout versus the G-Men. Defensively, the Bucks rely on a lot of pressure. They rank number one in pressure rate, but they had the perfect opponent last week against Tommy DeVito, who has one of the worst pressure to sack ratios. Basically, any pressure on DeVito results in a sack somehow. Bryce Young, however, is the opposite. He's been great at scrambling and avoiding pressure. I think Carolina's going to move the ball and put up some points, but I'm expecting the Bucks offense to do all the heavy lifting to get this one over the total of 46. And it's simple here. We can see the Bucks are atop the league in basically every offensive drive level metric, and the Panthers defense is at the bottom in every metric, including EPA per play allowed, success rate, early down pass and rush EPA, or success rate. I mean, just any category you can pick. Panthers rank 31st or dead last in all those. So I'm taking the over in this one, but I could also make a very strong case for betting the Bucks. And might bet them 5.5, but fading the Panthers just seems too easy and obvious. Panthers played good last week versus Kansas City, but it's kind of easy to get up and motivated for a game against the champs. I'm not sure we see that same effort in back-to-back weeks. If I click that bet in, I'll post it in the Discord. So just to recap here, the three best bets, I got Cincy -3. Then we go Seahawks Jets under 42, and then Bucks Panthers over 46.